Not a bad bench there for Real Madrid. For Eibar, Asier Riesgo, Sergio Enrique, Bebe, Ruben Peña, Kike and Junca.
Simon, it's a game that entrances us because there's so much riding on it, and Eibar have begun to play with a confidence that belies their league form, their league position. But one thing we can transmit to those watching around the world is that the singing section at the Bernabéu has made a huge difference. It's very attractive, it helps the atmosphere. But if you look around the Bernabéu stadium, there are a few more empty seats you would normally, and the rest of the stadium is what you described, just a little bit jumpy, a bit nervous, and already not singing and roaring the team on.
Inui to Cote, whose cross is blocked by Rafa Varane. He'll get another opportunity to put the service in. Well, not going anywhere, that one from Escalante. It's a goal kick, 10 minutes on the clock, 0-0, a decent start from Eibar.
It is. Let me just, we'll have a look at this here. The ball is reasonably delivered, it's just too high for Escalante. But one of the points you made about Charles and his movement, you know, the Brazilian who got a couple for Celta Vigo in 2014 to end effectively Carlo Ancelotti's reign at Real Madrid in a 2-0 win up in Galicia. When you're effectively the lone striker, particularly when the ball is played long, you cannot chase like a doggy all night for every ball. It is about intelligence of choice.
Escalante battling there with Teo. Does very well indeed to make the connection with Charles. Lomban once more. Plenty of space for him to pick out Arbilla. Racing down the line, he's got options. Cote in front of him, also Inui.
He had. Inui was there for the taking.
Kappa into the box, couldn't quite control it, putting pressure on Teo Hernandez, who plays his way out of it quite nicely, but it will be a throw to Eibar.
It's not just what Madrid are doing on the ball, there's just a hint of a lower grade pressing, whereas I must admit that the idea that Zidane has had to introduce Ceballos, Teo, to bring Nacho back instead of Ashraf, all of these should be giving a real buzz, a real electricity and energy, should be making Eibar feel they're right on top of us. So far, okay, 11 minutes gone, no big deal. They're not imposing themselves.
Gigo Casilla with the ball. Eibar allowing him plenty of time to play the ball out, to find Isco. Rafa Varane back to the keeper. This time he knew he does go into press. Ceballos picks out Sergio Ramos. Luka Modric. There's Dani Ceballos, who gives it away cheaply. It's picked up by Jordan. Arbilla inside. Jordan once more. Escalante finding Oliveira, looks for Inui. It was a loose ball, it's now in Luka Modric's control. And he finds Isco, who was in an offside position.
That's indisciplined.
Yeah.
When Modric wins the ball, there's enough time as the Croat builds towards the pass for Isco to not be going already. He's gone significantly too soon there, and given the space that was available, if he just learned to, as strikers say, to bend his run, then he was away and clear through.
Inui can't control that. It's a throw to Real Madrid. Under Kappa, the captain, certainly put in quite a few meters already up and down that right flank. Kappa trying to set Inui through, it's overhit, and Ramos able to watch it cross over the line for a goal kick. Just coming out from behind the linesman there, Jose Luis Mendilibar. As Rafa Varane plays the ball out, Isco, Casemiro, you can see Inui snapping at his heels. He gives the pass away. It's kept in play by Cote. Jordan just losing out, committing the foul, free kick.
That's twice now in the last 5 or 6 minutes between Casemiro and Ceballos, when a pass has been played with It's had too much adrenaline in trying to force it forward when, truthfully, had Marcelo and Carvajal been played, the first ball would have been wide to allow the midfield then to shuffle and to recycle again.
So put over the top for Asensio to chase. He's not going to make it.
It's another case of the distribution feeling as if they feel hurried, as if they feel pressurised rather than pressed by Eibar. It feels like and looks like the mentality of guys who want the pressure off their shoulders pretty quickly and looking for a killer quarterback ball. Not Madrid's style under Zidane.
I think the fact is, as we have mentioned, I mean, it's only 14 and a half minutes on the clock, but these Madrid players know they owe these fans one of those evenings they've got so used to over the last few years. Big wins, plenty of goals, hat-trick heroes, seeing the new young players getting in with spectacular strikes. The fans in the Bernabéu are waiting for that. They're still waiting for it. They were disappointed not to have overcome Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions midweek. There is that sense of urgency, and it can sometimes rub off on the players, can't it? And I think we've seen a couple of times where the players have perhaps just taken the wrong decision a little bit too quickly. Casemiro, they're bundling Inui off the ball. That was certainly no precipitation there, although the pass was a poor one, and it's a throw into Eibar, wing possession back.
And the Japanese had not been begun to press him.
Yep.
Casemiro, once he used his strength to find that little bit of space, didn't have to make that false ball.
Cristiano Ronaldo on the ball, trying to get away from Dani Ceballos, who's very insistent. Lomban back to Dimitrovic. Sends it long. We're going to see that quite a bit from the Serbian keeper, I suppose, today. That's a poor clearance. It falls to Inui. Inui completely miscuing the pass. He had two options there, Graham. Luka Modric finds Isco. Isco having to pause. And Asensio was there, but Dimitrovic quickly out of his area to clear. Lovely little control there from Isco, sheer class. Down he goes, wins a free kick.
I don't think you're allowed to put a magnet in your boot, are you? Because how else do you explain that? Spotlights crowding your eye, the ball dropping, people all around you, and it just sticks to your toe.
We saw him
phenomenal,
doing amazing control. I think it was in the Mendizorroza in the game against Alaves. Just absolutely impossible, it seemed. Hernandez doing well, couldn't quite find Ronaldo. He gets the rebound, tries the shot, it takes a deflection. That'll be a corner to Real Madrid, who haven't really produced too much in these opening 17 minutes in terms of attacking threat. Ronaldo quick to pick up the loose ball from the rebound there. It came off Christian Rivera, and it's the first corner for Real Madrid. Asensio to take it. And in swinger, Ronaldo was up to greet it, and another corner given. Ronaldo looks as though he just took a knock there. There it is.
Not even space to breathe.
I know, it's
never mind to control.
Asensio with a cross, it's a good one to the far post, and is that an own goal? It doesn't matter, it's in the back of the net. Ramos shakes hands. It looks to me as though it came off the defender. Ramos celebrating.
And his face when somebody says that, you go, well, I don't know. It's definitely, I think that Paulo gets up, and without being hypercritical, Simon, when we see this again, we're going to see Dimitrovic begin to come, not make his mind up, drop back, and his centre half is left with very little choice than to try and get a header on it.
It's Isco who picks out Asensio. It's a great ball in, no question of offside. And yes, indeed, it's David Lomban, isn't it, who gets up there at the same time as Ramos. Can you call that own goal or Ramos?
It's definitely, for my money, definitely an own goal. Well, yeah, there's so much hair going around there. Ramos will claim it.
Yep.
And listen, were he with us in the commentary box, we probably wouldn't be arguing with him.
I wouldn't argue with Lomban if he said, no, I didn't touch it either. But the look on his face makes us think he probably knows he did. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Either way, it's Madrid 1-0 up. Will that allow them to open the wings a bit? Here's Isco. Well, it's a blow to Eibar, because they'll have felt, presumably, if this lot are going to beat us, they're not going to score a goal from a corner,
absolutely, and they played so well that to give away from a not particularly dangerous free kick, loose ball like that, it's frustrating for them, for Mendilibar, and suddenly the stadium is happy, is confident, and Eibar are wasting possession.
And it's Paulo Oliveira rather than David Londan. And quite clearly there you can see him in the challenge, the number 12 on his back. It does look to come
last touch
the Portuguese's
sure.
head. Own goal. Ramos delighted to get the goal, but he's not going to be. That's not going to add to his already very large tally. Cote to Inoue. He does well to get behind Nacho. The cross was weak. No problems for Kiko Casilla. But Eibar will have said, look, they're not going to score from a corner. Surely that's not the way we're going to go behind in the Bernabéu. Unfortunately for them.
Well, it was a trademark last season, wasn't it? Cruz to Ramos, or Cruz to Ronaldo. The fact that there was no Cruz, the fact that Real Madrid were able to take it short and therefore bend the ball back, and everybody stayed on side. Dimitrovic, only over harsh, but when a keeper begins to come and then stops, it just makes his centre-halves jumpy. There's no question for Paulo. He had to get something on that. And that's your luck. Some nights it goes in, sometimes it goes over the bar.
Nacho getting his head to that. It's a throw in to Eibar. 20.5 minutes on the clock. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Mendilibar not looking the happiest of the more or less 80,000 people in the Bernabéu tonight. Just a shade under 80,000, as Graham Hunt was pointing out earlier. But he's not a happy man. This is Rivera Square. Forced on to Jose Angel, who now finds Jordan. Jordan wins a free kick. Casemiro can't believe that one's gone against him. Although he has a little nod of the head. And here's this earlier break from Eibar. And that attempt to surprise Kiko Casilla by Charles. Forced to apologise afterwards, didn't come off for him, but Casilla was clearly misplaced and had the veteran striker struck it properly. Who knows? Modric winning that aerial challenge. There's a player down, Dani Ceballos in the box. Cote deciding to continue playing, and why not indeed. This is Eibar in the Bernabéu. Ceballos gets up. Escalante, little nutmeg there. Jordan losing out in the end. And it's Nacho who gives it away in the end. Cote goes down, free kick to Eibar, and the Bernabéu angry with the referee.
You could count down because when Ceballos was on the ground, the fans were jeering, and every time competitive, hard-nosed players see a colleague down, whether he's injured or faking, if the other team doesn't put it out, they go looking, and Casemiro doesn't have that restraint. And the foul, when it comes from Nacho, Casemiro goes in looking for a fight, and he's very, very lucky if he's not cautioned here.
Well, I think he's being cautioned, well called there.
It's just, he's lost his calm, and when you get Sergio Ramos with record red cards to his name saying to you, calm down, you know you've stepped completely out of bounds.
Yellow card for Charles as well, according to our graphics department. But I mean, this is Eibar in the Bernabéu against Real Madrid. You've got no guarantee that Dani Ceballos is cobbing it or is genuinely down. There's no way he has to get up. You can see Charles's reaction with Casemiro. That's why he gets the yellow card. Casemiro, the yellow card for the prior reaction. But I mean, it's bumped into by Cristiano Ronaldo, Dani Ceballos. There's no way on earth you can tell me that Eibar have to put the ball out of play under those circumstances. In comes the free kick, and very, very close to fooling Casilla on the near post. Rivera was up for the rebound. It went agonisingly over his head. Here's Inoue, trouble here for Madrid. Brilliantly defended in the end by Casemiro, who probably now has a little bit of extra adrenaline going. He finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo looking for Teo, and the Kappa had to be sharp there. took a knock in the process. The referee,
I think there was a foul. I think it was a clear foul. Studs in, and I think the referee has tried to douse the tension a little bit by not giving it. And our microscope is on Casemiro now. You called it right. That a brilliant interception and a piece of adrenaline going, I'll win this situation back, I'll win the crowd back. He's never been sent off professionally, but in recent months he's behaved as if he's invisible, as if he cannot be sent off. He's now got the remainder of this match, for as long as Zidane keeps in the pitch, on a yellow card, and I'll be fascinated to see how he controls himself.
Jordan finding Inouye. Inouye trying to get away from Casemiro. He goes down, it's a free kick. Well, there's the first one, Graham.
It was unnecessary. You cannot expect a yellow card, I don't think.
No,
for this.
You can't.
But
there's a push there too, isn't there?
Well,
yeah.
I just identify he's such a good footballer, and you're right. This is very close to an own goal. I think the touch comes off. Is it Nacho? And as the ball cannons into Casilla, who doesn't get a lot of game time, it's Varane. Casilla so far has done very, very well, but Madrid are putting themselves under pressure unnecessarily.
The free kick swung in by Jordan, comfortably through to Kiko Casilla.
As long as the pressure amounts to that, they'll be quite happy.
Casilla sends it long. The ball comes to Luka Modric. Modric trying to link with Isco, he couldn't. Ceballos knocking it down to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ceballos again. Ronaldo. Ceballos. Everybody back behind the ball for Eibar now. Here's Modric. Isco. Modric. Asensio. Well held by Dimitrovic. That was an awkward one. Fizzing across the ground, bouncing, and the Serbian got well behind it.
There's an over here. One of the reasons that he doesn't get closed down by Kappa is there's an over outside.
Yeah.
Teo's made the run, and Kappa can't decide whether to close or whether to watch out in case he has to make a right break towards Teo.
It's, I should say, a Knights Arbia, a long one. All the advantage there.
Can I say in the interest of balance as well, it isn't just one Brazilian who's in trouble. Charles got booked, and I guess Sergio Enrique on the bench for Eibar will be saying, okay, there go my chances, shooting up of coming on and playing up front, because Charles' role is to play up against the centre-halves. It will be aggressive.
Yeah.
He's in as much danger of a second booking, I guess, as Casemiro.
Yeah.
So Sergio Enrique will be looking at it saying, nice turn of events for me.
His guarantee of goals for Eibar, Sergio Enrique, but surprising perhaps to some of us to see him on the bench. I said guarantee of goals, I'm not talking 30 a season, but half a dozen to 10 or so. Here's Casemiro. Good interception there from Paulo, the scorer of the only goal so far in his own net. Here's Dani Ceballos. Turning away from Jordan, back to Modric. Isco. It's a little bit static, Real Madrid in attack here. Isco whips it in. Oh, what a goal! Asensio makes it 2-0. A little bit static, I just said, but then Isco created the magic. The pass came from nowhere. Asensio saw it coming. First time on the half volley with his left foot. No chance for Dimitrovic. 2-0.
It's your man that we're seeing with his back to us there, Modric, who's got a great deal of, because instead of worrying or panicking or wasting the ball or turning and slotting the ball back, he waits and waits and waits until there's a good advantage. And Kappa's slow here. Kappa doesn't even attempt to block the cross. Now, as it's coming in, there's a low chance of that being converted, but you know, Asensio is fantastic. The keeper's unsighted. But if you look at Kappa there, his work to get that ball closed is not good enough. Doesn't do one thing or the other, and because Dimitris is unsighted, it's a horrible, horrible image for him to look at tomorrow morning as it just goes by his knee and with his arms flapping in there. But when you don't see it and the ball's hit at speed, there's a chance for that.
Well, it actually went through the legs of the unfortunate Paulo Oliveira, not enjoying his greatest evening in defence for Eibar out there in the Bernabéu tonight. 2-0 to Real Madrid, and well, all of a sudden there's a bit of a lifting of the pressure on the shoulders of these players. 2-0 up, not even half an hour on the board. It's going to be a big ask now for Eibar to try and get something out of this game. Luka Modric wins the loose ball, plays it all the way back to Gigo Casilla. Now it's Rafa Varane, and Asensio trying something a little bit clever there, didn't come off. Back amongst the scorers for the first time since that 2-2 draw in the Bernabéu with Valencia, when Asensio got both the goals. It's his third of the season. Theo Hernandez was blocked by Rivera there. Modric. Now here's Isco. Nacho on the overlap. Little back healer. Didn't quite get the contact he wanted, and Cote is able to clear.
He's one of those players at the Bernabéu who can get away with that. They absolutely adore him here. You were right that they like swagger, they like fantasy football, but they also have always loved the guy who will sweat blood for his shirt, and that's Nacho.
It certainly is. Playing it right back today. He's played all across that back four. Real great help to have a player like that in the squad for Zinedine Zidane. Replacing Dani Carvajal, of course, tonight. Ceballos finding Asensio. Asensio can't get beyond Rivera. Throw into Real Madrid. Ceballos, Isco. Isco, quick to see Hernandez. Just knocks it down to Luka Modric. Modric's cross, and Ronaldo wasn't too far from getting on the end of it. They're looking very confident all of a sudden, and very dangerous indeed, Real Madrid.
They are, and albeit that the flag's gone up there, Eibar are looking tired. There is no effort to close Modric down there, and if you continue to allow people like Isco or Modric or Asensio to pick out passes, then we'll have 4 or 5 for the home side tonight.
Dimitrovic sends it long. Charles felt he got a knock there from Varane in the dispute for the ball. It's Ramos playing the ball out. To Modric. Isco to Modric. Modric, again, plenty of time to make up his mind. This is Casemiro. He might try a shot from here. It wasn't too far away.
Great spot. You saw him winding up.
Well, you saw the space more than anything.
We both know that it's a policy, and he showed, most notably in Cardiff in the European Cup final, that he does know how to shoot from distance. And boy,
it wasn't too far away, was it? A rocket going away from the keeper.
Dimitrovic wasn't going to get there for all his dive. He dived full length, and he was still about 6 feet away from the ball.
Well, he sends it long from the resulting goal kick. Charles up for it with Varane, who wins it quite comfortably. Jordan back to Rivera. Can't see a way forward. Combines with Lomban. Arbilla misplaces the pass, and Nacho quick to look for the 1-2, which never came. And there is a free kick given for the challenge on Luka Modric.
Yeah, but as Isquero, being critical there, but I'd really love to see things like that booked, as Modric doesn't have the chance to take it quickly. It's an automatic booking.
There's Isco. Gets the cross in. Asensio, and Ronaldo was winding up for that one, didn't quite get the contact. Sent back in by Ceballos and blocked. Chance on the break. No, because Varane's there to block it. Here's Modric. Plenty of space. Ronaldo's there. Isco arriving. It's headed clear in the end by Paulo Oliveira. Still Madrid keep the ball in play. Isco with it at his feet. He picks out Sergio Ramos, who gives it back to his fellow Andalusian. Casemiro. Little dink over the top to Modric. Ceballos. Asensio. Isco's pass just misreading the run from Ceballos. 33 minutes on the clock. Madrid 2, Eibar 0.
There's a change in tempo, isn't there? The passing is crisper, quicker, combinations are good. Eibar looks stretched. Madrid have their tails up.
Well, Jorge Valdano often talked about the fear of the scene, the stage, for clubs visiting Real Madrid. I think Eibar aren't necessarily suffering from that, but certainly if any of the Madrid players were before this game, well, that kind of fear has been lifted from them. And there's possibly one or two players out there, Graham, who are thinking we can bag a few today.
I think you're thinking of Cristiano Ronaldo, short of goals, absolutely furious in midweek when his powerful header came off the post against Tottenham Hotspur. Benzema infamously didn't convert the open chance, but Ronaldo needs goals in order to take this monkey off his back, that grey cloud that hovers over his head. Even when the team is doing well, if he's not scoring, there's a slight problem in mood, and this is frankly his opportunity.
Well, he certainly will be well aware of that, and this Real Madrid side playing against humble opposition in the Bernabéu. They're not the kind of side who go 2-0 up and then take their foot off and just play out for the 3 points. They'll be looking for tennis scores or rugby scores or even cricket scores.
And what Mendelebar will be looking out for, you mentioned it, Valdano's idea that teams sometimes get scared here. What may happen if you're losing comprehensively quickly is that people save energy for the following 2 home games in the Cup against Celta and then a home against Levante in the League next week.
Which becomes a very big game indeed for Eibar. Casemiro and Charles with the physical battle continuing there. It's a slightly loose ball. He knew he's going to go and chase it. There's no way he's getting anywhere near it. Throw in to Real Madrid.
I think it's when you see teams do that, notably we've just watched the away opposition tonight waste possession. Love a shot of the way in which Asensio gets served up beautifully by Isco, but Modric's pausa to wait. But when you see Modric waiting and taking time there, whereas Eibar, as soon as they get the chance, loft the ball long, not knowing whether there's a player there or not. That's such a waste in the Bernabéu.
There's Nacho, controls that one brilliantly, finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo trying to get beyond his man, doesn't quite have the pace he might have had a few years ago. Keeps hold of the ball though, gives it away to David Lomban. Tries to find Inui, who takes a tumble and stays down, and a free kick given. It was blown late by a referee Alvarez, and it's Casemiro, it would appear. No, it's not. It's a mixture of Varane and Ceballos who sandwiched the Japanese. Seems to have recovered. Escalante wins a throw. Kappa goes across to take it. There's a risky one back, all the way back to Lomban, who's put under pressure to send it back exactly where the throw came from. And eventually it's won by Ceballos, a little back healer from Modric. That's a chase for Ronaldo, he won't get there. Or will he? Well, he gets the applause of the Bernabéu. I think he knew he wasn't going to get it, but he felt, I'll give him a sprint just to let him know I'm up for this. And if that's his mentality, it's worked because he's got the applause of the fans.
I think you and I both agree that he's insufficiently appreciated by this ultra harsh audience, and that little moment when they applauded him, probably themselves knowing he wasn't going to get there, that was a nice boost for the Portuguese, who just wants to get this, like I say, dark cloud from above his head because he isn't scoring.
That's a good steal from Ander Kappa. He bursts forward, couldn't find Inui with the pass. It falls, however, for Kotick, and again the attack breaking down.
Smashing strike though. You watch the way in which Casilla is wrong-footed. As he lifts his left foot here, it's going. Casilla doesn't know for absolute sure that's going by. It's a really clean strike, and if it's on target, it beats the keeper, and it's 2-1. So not a wasted effort.
Isco with the ball, holds on to it, releases it when he sees Dani Ceballos. Ceballos, a little combination with Casemiro. Teo Hernandez. Asensio. Patient from Real Madrid is Rafa Varane. So much quality on the pitch. Modric leaves that, and it's won back straight away by Eibar. This is Gustavo Escalante. Arbia doing very well indeed. Jordan losing out. It falls fortunately to Jordan, who gets it back from Inui. Plenty of space on the right for Kappa. Arbilla. And Modric penalised for the challenge on Inui. Another free kick to Eibar. Well, 6 minutes to go. There's, who knows, an opportunity perhaps for Eibar here if they can work something out from the dead ball.
It's not a great decision from a player we both admire. He's been, for my money, the dominant player tonight. But he does do his work. He's not one of these 10s. He's not one of these creative players who wants the ball all the time when they're in possession and won't win it back. It's a misjudgment, that, because it does give an opportunity to the away team. But boy, Modric put a shift in.
Well, if you're Jose Luis Mendilibar right now, what are you thinking? You're thinking, there's an opportunity. We've worked on this all week. Here it comes. Ronaldo with the clearance, only as far as Ander Kappa. And he's dispossessed by Teo Hernandez. Chance on the break. Did he keep it in play? Well, whether he did or not, Arbilla was across to block his progress. To my mind, cleanly. But Teo Hernandez stays down.
To say I agree, I think that referees now are eager to give fouls for anybody who's full length in the pitch, but he gets to the ball first. I think that was my... He does do, but I mean, there are referees who would now interpret that the law as being, are you in control? Are you fully in control or not? Is there a risk of doing damage? Not this referee thought.
Throw in to Real Madrid instead of the free kick that Teo Hernandez might have expected or hoped for. It's going to be picked up here by Rivera. Chance once again on the break. Just look at the work Isco's doing, however. It's picked up here by Cote. Gets the cross in, but in the end it's easier for Kiko Casilla.
Really, really good work by the captain. Really good work by Ramos to make sure that Charles didn't get front post on his own. That was the kind of thing that makes a game, turns a game.
Well, it's Casemiro who lost that, and is it Escalante who stayed down? Either way, play continues. Some of the players there seeming to pause as if they're unsure. Escalante back on his feet.
Let's clarify something and back exactly what you said. The law said, do not kick the ball out on the referee until the referee instructs you to. You were passionate about, you know, under no circumstances should you just give the ball away because somebody's lying down. The laws say, follow the referee's whistle.
Dimitrovic sending another bullet forwards. It's won easily by Teo Hernandez, and he goes back to his opposite number, Kiko Casilla. Here's Varane. Square to Sergio Ramos. Ronaldo back to Teo Hernandez. Now Dani Ceballos. Here's Ronaldo. Isco already making a run on the overlap. Teo's cross, well dealt with by Marko Dimitrovic on the near post. There were two white shirts arriving. There's Inui. He's a workman-like pro and a kappa, and Rafa Varane there showing great tenacity as Charles tried to wrong foot him. Casemiro. This is better from Real Madrid. Asensio taking on Oliveira. Oliveira recovering in time. Good defending.
Just a shame. That was a lovely move, the way that Madrid won it and built, and the passing was quick. That quick transition that they're so famous for under Zidane left awry by Asensio's overconfidence.
Luka Modric leaves it for Isco, gets it back. Dani Ceballos. Modric to Asensio. Asensio's cross driven in low. It was David Lomban who got there with the block.
Sorry to be mean again, but Kappa dreaming. Kappa absolutely dreaming and looking lost as the ball fizzed past him.
Yeah, he's much happier getting forward really down that right flank, isn't he, under Kappa? It's a chase for Ronaldo. Supported by Casemiro. Nacho. Dispossessed. Throw in to Eibar with a minute and a half to go before half time. Madrid 2-0 up. An own goal from Paulo Oliveira, and a goal, the third of his personal account this season, from Marco Asensio. Arbilla with an ambitious ball. Escalante Can't get away from Ramos. Ceballos. Sergio Ramos. Isco. Lays it back to Varane. Casemiro. I saw the movement of Ronaldo, but Arbia made the interception and did very well indeed to find Juan Jordan. Escalante. Under Kappa. Escalante again. Jordan back to Kappa. Here's Rivera. Madrid just taking a couple of steps back in this these closing seconds of the half. Jose Angel Cote mishits it. It's picked up by Isco. Quick to link with Casemiro. Just floating with the ball at his feet, Isco. Cristiano Ronaldo. Looking for Isco, who's just run the length of the pitch and was never really likely to get into the position Ronaldo played. Half time in the Santiago Bernabéu, and it's Real Madrid 2, Eibar 0. Cristiano Ronaldo not looking the
sums up, given that one or two other footballers who are on the pitch tonight, particularly Arbia, just made it to this game in a state of fitness, and therefore they've got 19 fit players. They only need 11 good ones to get a point, and for the opening passage of play, opening quarter of an hour, it looks as if maybe the game plan plus the confidence plus the work ethic might take them to a position where at least Madrid were stressed. Then failure to close, failure to cover, lack of experience, perhaps slight lack of match sharpness has cost them dearly. Now, irrespective of what form the hosts are when you come to the Bernabéu, if you get a combination of crucial players missing and one or two who begin to make mistakes or give the ball away or don't close, you'll be beaten, and that's the 45 minutes. If there's any consolation, you ask what can he do. In Spanish football, in La Liga, they are the worst team in the first half of every match this season. Once it gets to the second half, there are 6 teams who are worse than them. They radically improve in the 8 games before this in the second half of matches. Well, as you would point out, if I didn't, they'll need to.
They certainly will. You need everything to go right in the Bernabéu if you're going to get a positive result. You need all your players fit, all your players putting in best of season performances, a bit of luck as well, maybe the referee to make a couple of errors on your side. If all those things happen, you've maybe got the slight chance of getting something positive.
Folks, there's the voice of experience. That is absolutely bang on.
We're seeing Cristiano Ronaldo come out. We saw images there of him in the tunnel, alone, separate from the rest of the group. He's obviously not happy. The body language is fairly clear, but then again, we're quite used to seeing that with Ronaldo. It doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to bang 3 or 4 in after the break.
I love and have always loved the fact that he's so expressive. I accept that not everybody sees it my way, and I'm not trying to impose my view. But when you get a record like his, when you get an attitude like his, and when I talk about his record, I talk about how often he's fit, how often he's in form, how irregularly he allows controversy or things going against him to put him off his stride, how many times in big matches he appears, he's there for you. That means to me, if your nature is to express yourself as if you're chewing a wasp or a thistle, as he is right now, or when he wants to do that, tear off the jersey and do C when he scores a goal, even if it's a penalty, I'll buy a ticket for the Cristiano Ronaldo show every single week if his record is... He's made your career and my career more interesting, more fun, better. Neither of us are Madridistas, but boy, if you love football, you have to love Cristiano Ronaldo.
Absolutely. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man who eats thistles. Wonder why thistles should have come into the conversation there. Madrid have got the second half underway. They're attacking the goal to the left of your screens as Ramos finds Dani Ceballos, put under pressure from Escalante, gets away from it quite nicely and manages to avoid Inui as he picks out Rafa Varane. It's one straight back by Cote inside to Inui. Nobody waiting for that ball, and that one will be kept in play by Kiko Casilla. Just run through the lineups once more. Casilla in goal for Real Madrid with Nacho, Varane, Ramos and Hernandez at the back. Modric, Casemiro, Isco and Ceballos in midfield. And up front, Marco Asensio and Cristiano Ronaldo. On the bench for Zinedine Zidane's side, the 17-year-old keeper Moja, Toni Kroos, Benzema, Marcelo, Lucas Vázquez, Marcos Llorente and Akraf. Playing for Eibar, Marco Dimitrovic in goal, Capa, Oliveira, Lomban, Arbia and Jose Angel. Cote at the back, Escalante, Jordan, Rivera, Inui in midfield. Up front, Charles.
Let me make a supplementary point about Ronaldo, because I wasn't being jocular, in exclusion. Ronaldo has only certain players with whom he's really tight within this squad, and I know of one who's on the pitch tonight who he wouldn't be the tightest friend with, but two of the real close disciples and acolytes are Marcelo, not playing, Benzema, not playing, and to be honest with you, that sense of solitariness, that downhearted look on his face is to do with the fact that when he plays alongside Benzema, his chances of scoring go up dramatically. We previewed that as being the case last week. Immediately we were proven accurate with a goal from him and a goal from Benzema. He will be saying in his mind, get Benzema on, get Benzema on, get Benzema on. But for Zidane, the plus is Asensio begins the season with 4 goals in the space of a fortnight, and suddenly then it goes 3 months without a goal. So to get one now is hugely important, and I don't see Benzema having an immediate chance until maybe minute 70, minute 65.
Lazio penalised for this challenge on Inui. It'll be a free kick to Eibar. We mentioned in the first half from a very similar dead ball situation that it could be one of the opportunities the modest side from the Basque country have to put Madrid under some pressure. Kiko Casilla getting things ready at the back. He hasn't put a foot wrong so far tonight, hasn't had too much to do, but Eibar will be looking to put him under some kind of threat here. It's whipped in dangerously, headed clear by Ramos, and a Kappa to keep it going. It's got Escalante outside and puts the cross in towards the far post, and it's a wasted one.
You pinpoint the fact that Escalante was there, out of position. He needs to be centre pitch. If he's gone wide, use him rather than waste that ball. If you cross it instead of using the man outside you, make sure your cross is pinpoint instead of into the crowd.
Modric to Ceballos. Ceballos a bit closed in there. Just about manages to find Ramos with a cheeky chip over the top to Modric. Asensio first time got away from Kappa. Lovely little touch from Ronaldo. First time. Beautiful ball into Isco. Isco into the area. And it's well saved in the end from Dimitrovic. I don't know what Ronaldo's reaction will be there, Graham, but I think Isco did the right thing going for goal.
The keeper should be sort of rebaptised Redemptionovic, because any mistake that he made for the goal, he made up for there with a wonderful save.
Isco offside, and Ronaldo shows his obvious displeasure.
Your terminology about the way Isco can carry the ball on the run is beautiful, and it matches what we saw on Asensio there, because as the ball is coming through midfield, it's behind Asensio, and he just manages to get it, flick it with his foot almost behind the back of his head. Isco's movement and the first time ball from Asensio means that he's got the full right to finish there.
Yeah.
It's twice this game where he's had a clear shot and goal on his right foot where he should score and hasn't, but he will not be penalised by Zidane for that, no matter what Cristiano Ronaldo says.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, I agree 100% with what you've been putting forward about Cristiano Ronaldo just as this second half started. There was no way Ronaldo was in a position to receive the ball. He was struggling to get there. He had a defender either side, both about a yard ahead of him. This might be a better chance, however, for Ronaldo, although not losing his footing like that. And Ronaldo not the quickest to get up, although he'll get up now. Ceballos wins this back. Still Ceballos looking for the best opportunity, can't find it. I said Ceballos, it is of course Ceballos. Is Hernandez. Asensio. Hernandez getting away from Kappa with ease. Ronaldo not quite getting on the end of it. It will be a throw to Real Madrid. Asensio takes it quickly. This is Isco. Dani Ceballos goes down and wins a free kick. Just got to explain, it's a Freudian slip calling him Ceballos. I think the mention of the Spanish omelette in the pre-second half run-in just stuck in my mind there. Dani Ceballos being fouled there by Inui. Free kick to Real Madrid.
Potentially a critical mistake by the Japanese, because it was an unnecessary. Ceballos had got himself into a mix. Inui, you know, right in front of the referee, makes a move with his leg that he's never going to be able to rob the ball cleanly with. Tactically, that's naive, and now clearly it should be Ronaldo. Ronaldo will want this, playing this, and it gives him an opportunity just to get that dark cloud from over his head by slotting this one away. Will he?
Well, there's absolutely no way anybody else is getting to touch that ball or place that ball. It was Ronaldo's from the word go. Can he get on this score sheet? It's a fair old distance. There's two Real Madrid players on the edge of the wall. In comes Cristiano Ronaldo, sending it very high into the singing section, and woe is he. It's funny, we saw last night, and I know you were working at the game, Luis Suarez just looking as if he'd lost all connection and coordination with his boots. It wasn't just a lack of form, it was like him saying to himself, what am I doing wrong that I used to do so right? And in the last couple of minutes with Ronaldo falling over and wiring that, you know, American NFL football style extra point over the bar, that look when he raised his own eyebrows at himself, didn't howl at the moon as he often does, that was a man saying, what have I got to do just to
put this ball on target.
But I mean, we would see the same reaction from Ronaldo if he'd taken that free kick and they'd already scored 4 or 5 goals this evening. I mean, you don't want your goal scorers to be happy when they miss chances.
I think it's a long, long time since he's been this sterile.
Yeah.
And I have to say in his defence, until he got unnecessarily sent off in the Super Cup at Bernabéu, for which the referee bears some culpability, his form looked absolutely outstanding. He was finding the goal with his eyes shut and with power.
That's a good play. Jordan picking this one up under pressure from Luka Modric. The cross whipped in, blocked there, and finally the shot from Inui. Well, shot is one way of calling it, but he miscued it. They're responding well with pride, Eibar. Hasn't been able to really put too much pressure on Kiko Casilla, though.
Talking about response, that looks like Lucas warming up and Marcelo coming on. It looked as if Marcelo was about to strip off, which is an early change if it's what's happening. He may simply be warming up, but he's making a movement as if he'd been told to come on.
Teo with the throw. Problems for Ceballos. Sergio Ramos helping out. Oh, that's weak. As Casemiro gave it away. And Eibar unable to really take advantage of that. Just looked a little bit disconnected from the game there, Real Madrid at the back. Rivera square. Arbilla. Kappa inside to Inui. Cote rather. Still Cote. Now Inui. Picks out Jordan. Arbilla once more. Let's try with Cote again. Whips the cross in. Dealt with by Varane. Down goes Inui. The referee with a palm upraised allows play to continue. In this instance, we don't get the benefit of replays right now, just like the referee. So instinctively, I think the referee got that right, and Inui wasn't touched. Rivera striding forward. He saw a sight of goal, miscued it.
Let's have a look again now. I got it wrong.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
That's the referee's life. I got that wrong.
That's a penalty and a second yellow card, presumably.
Casemiro is tight roping it, and it was my point. I meant what I said. It was not gratuitous. He seems to believe that it is literally impossible for him to get a red card or a second yellow, and until now in his professional career he's been right. But I've seen him walk the tightrope so often, so precariously, and as you said, not just penalty, second yellow and ordering off.
What's perhaps surprising is the complete lack of complaint from Inui. No appeal whatsoever. I think had he made one, who knows, maybe the referee might have been swayed. But
speaking very carefully, I would offer perhaps that's a cultural thing, and perhaps if a player of another nationality had been tackled like that, we might have seen an automatic screaming and roaring.
Yeah.
In Inui's case, it would have been fully justified.
It's a long clearance from Kiko Casilla. Dimitrovic out of his area, just fails to get his boot behind that one really, and it's a free kick against Luka Modric in the centre circle. Casemiro looking all innocent. So difficult to be a referee, as you said. Alfonso Alvarez Izquierdo there. But as I say, no major complaint from anybody really in Eibar about that decision. Another player goes down. This time it was Cote, and he responds and brings down Casemiro, free kick. Just sense Real Madrid have switched off a little over the last few minutes, and well, for Eibar they haven't been able to really take a chance, really get back into the game. They're 2-0 down, and I just sense things are looking up a little bit. Enjoyed a bit of possession in the second half so far. Here's Rivera, neat little turn. Inui back to Arbilla. Inui again. Arbilla trying to set it back to the Japanese, but it was picked up neatly by Nacho Fernandez, and Casilla under pressure. forced to give away a throw-in, has a little laugh at his defence, but he won't be too pleased. Keepers don't like being put under pressure unnecessarily like that.
Particularly for a keeper who's playing once every 9-10 games at the moment, and usually twice a season.
Oh, lovely work from Escalante. Jordan is still on the ball despite Casemiro's greatest attempts to take it off him. Now it's Isco on the ball for Madrid. Ceballos to Nacho first time to Ronaldo. Arbia across with the challenge. That'll be a throw in. Ronaldo wants to take it quickly. Gets the ball back from Ceballos. Now Nacho. Danny Ceballos again. Casemiro. Sergio Ramos. Isco. Modric back to Ceballos. Now Isco again. A little bit of space opening up for him. He plays it out wide to Hernandez and gets it back. Roaming across behind the midfield there. This is Rafa Varane. Ronaldo. Varane, lovely footwork there to get away from two players. Still Varane. Can't see a way forward. Finds Isco. It's never a bad option. Here's Luka Modric. Wide to Theo Hernandez. In comes the cross. And booted away. As Ronaldo's shoulders slump again in the penalty area. Modric. Interception by Ander Kappa. Modric. Ceballos finding Casemiro, getting the return ball. Quick to spread it wide to Isco. Nacho returns it to Isco. Neat footwork, he gets on his feet. Advantage, a good advantage played by the referee. Theo Hernandez. Isco for the return ball. He just desires the ball at his feet so much. There's the cross. Headed clear by Lomban. But it's incredible. Isco, he just appears all over the pitch. Always either with the ball at his feet or in space looking for it.
Right side of the pitch taking the corner for the first goal. Left side of the pitch setting up Asensio for the second.
What a beautiful ball into Asensio. He cuts it back. Just completely picked the pocket of Paulo Oliveira there. Real Madrid win another corner. Here's Modric's deft little pass with the outside of his foot and perfectly weighted for Asensio. Isco. Modric whips it in. Headed clear by Arbia. Back in by Nacho. Out again by Rivera. Cross comes in, and there is Marko Dimitrovic waiting. Slightly more positive response from Ronaldo there. Here's Inui. Gets away from Casemiro. Ceballos was there, still Inui. Casemiro in firmly to win it back. Applause from the Bernabéu. Here's Asensio. Very nearly got away from him, and in fact it did. Rivera to Kappa. Escalante. Arbia pushing forward. Caught it. Down the line for Jordan. Gets it onto his right foot, whips the cross in. And Theo Hernandez heading over for a corner, gets the applause and a handshake from his keeper, Kiko Casilla.
Well, second half's been better for Eibar, and it was predictable. Ronaldo will have a smile on his face as his French strike partner gets stripped off. Eibar have scored all their 3 goals in the second half of games this season. The second half of games this season alone, second half alone. They've drawn 2, won 2. They're much more powerful in the second 45 minutes for whatever reason.
It's Jordan to take the corner. In it comes. Ramos doing just about enough to get there ahead of Escalante. Kiko Casilla throwing it out, losing his balance. And no harm done. He apologises to Isco as Benzema prepares to come on. And there's that penalty. I mean, that's what we're calling it. Casemiro on Inui. How tiny details can change a game. Rivera, not necessarily would have changed the game, but certainly would have got Eibar back in it. Kappa's cross, again it's a wasted one.
He looks like a guy who just made it to this game in terms of fitness and has been dog-tired for the last 20-25 minutes. If Mendilibar doesn't substitute him, it's because he can't.
Well, Kike is going to come on and replace Charles. Charles, who hasn't seen too much of the ball. Constant is one of those players who really gets in the faces of the
first 10 minutes. It looked as if he was giving the right out ball to an Eibar side that wanted to play long quickly in a 1v2 situation, with him being the one against Varane and Ramos. And initially it looked fine until they started making mistakes at the back and Madrid's confidence grew.
Well, it's Benzema on for Asensio for Real Madrid. Asensio back amongst the scorers, gets an ovation, a deserved ovation from the Santiago Bernabéu. Karim Benzema will now be playing up front alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. Albeit finding Inui. That's an intelligent ball for Inui for Kike to get onto straight away. Cote's cross, headed clear by Ramos, and well won back by Rivera. Dips it over the top. Escalante wanted that ball low into the and wide to the right. Don't always get what you ask for. Luka Modric, especially if you play for Eibar, I guess you have to say. Varane, Nacho, Ceballos. Looks very, very poised, Dani Ceballos on the ball. Isco doesn't take long to see the run made by Teo. Benzema's first touch comes back to Isco. Benzema again. Ceballos. Luka Modric. Ceballos. Return ball from Isco. Teo Hernandez. Isco. Goes around Escalante, blocked from going further. Ceballos finding Modric. Lovely work from Modric. Little nutmeg on Juan Jordan. Just dragged the shot wide, didn't quite get behind it. But a deserved round of applause from the fans there.
A little bit of sympathy from my part as we watch Modric hooking wide. Legitimate chance though. For Ronaldo in this instance, because when Ceballos had the ball and was crowded out, if he'd been a little bit more sharp in his reflexes, Ronaldo was free, properly free at the right hand side of the box, and the young ex-Betis player could and should have released.
Casemiro for Real Madrid. Good ball to Modric. Modric releasing Ronaldo. Ronaldo into the box. Cristiano Ronaldo. There was a poor final touch before the shot. Benzema tried to take advantage of the rebound. It's another time Marko Dimitrovic has frustrated Real Madrid. Ronaldo still not finding his touch in front of goal.
Right for the moment this beautiful pass comes, I didn't believe he was going to score. He allowed the defender to close him down. Dimitrovic gets out beautifully, and this is affecting him. It isn't just him looking like thunder, it's on his mind. Normally Cristiano Ronaldo would have finished that, and if he doesn't finish that, and he does score tonight, I'd love to see what kind of chance it comes from. That was, in his terms, on a plate.
And it was that beautiful through ball from Luka Modric that set him free. Teo Hernandez avoids the first challenge. Karim Benzema can't avoid Paulo Oliveira to throw in, quickly taken. Rafa Varane. Still Varane. Dani Ceballos. Benzema first time to Isco. Isco does well to hold off Rivera brilliantly. Looking for Ronaldo again. He overhits it on this occasion, and it will be a goal kick. Does there ever come a time, Graham, when you're Zinedine Zidane and you're thinking maybe it's best to give Cristiano Ronaldo a break, take him off at the Bernabéu with the score 2-0 against Eibar.
It happened at Las Palmas when they were winning. There was a momentary tiff last season. It was the point at which Zidane established this is for your own good. Ronaldo bought into it quickly. The next goal he scored, he went and deliberately celebrated with the coach to prove no harm done. I take it back to the game you were working on last night, when Suarez was taken off and looked, whether it's furious or embarrassed or confused, whether that works with the Uruguayan, I'm not sure. The personality and the footballing style different between him and Ronaldo. Personalities almost identical. I think tonight, in this situation, Ronaldo would view it as an embarrassment if he was taken off.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Good ball from Inui to Escalante. It's picked up by Kappa. And unfortunately, Kike, 1 is offside and 2 hits the side netting. But again, they're looking a little bit more, they've got more penetration in this second half. Eibar enjoying not exactly clear-cut chances, but what we call arrivals to the edge of the rival box.
One of the points I made is that smaller teams who want to save their resources, particularly if they've got big injury crisis, when they're 2-0 down, they kind of shut up shop a little bit and don't run and don't work and allow themselves to take a pasting at the Bernabéu or the Camp Nou to make sure that the next game, as you said, is so important. And Eibar haven't done that yet, have not by any means shut up shop and said we can't get anything out of this game.
Well, full credit to them. There's still half of this second period left as Lucas Vázquez finally gets to take his long pants off and presumably will be introduced shortly. Lovely control there from Isco. He finds Ronaldo. Benzema with him, so too is Isco. Trying to feed it through to Ronaldo, but it was blocked relatively comfortably by Anaid Sarbia. Is under Kappa. Forced to play it all the way back to the keeper, Marko Dimitrovic. Long clearance from him. Cotter just held off the ball there by Nacho. Juan Jordan. Under Kappa. Escalante trying to feed it through to Inui. Was blocked by Ramos. Casemiro losing out. Kappa's taken a knock there as he tried to get that one from Ceballos. Ceballos down the line to Casemiro. And it's Sergio Ramos who'd followed all the way through, and finally Christian Rivera to play the ball out under pressure from Karim Benzema. And he finally wins the throw in for Eibar. Sprinted all the way from penalty area to penalty area did Sergio Ramos, and it is Lucas Vázquez to come on to replace Isco. Big round of applause for Isco Alarcón from the Bernabéu.
And Marcelo's ready too.
Marcelo also coming on and replacing Dani Ceballos. Interesting.
I tend to suggest that the experiment which worked so poorly here, I think against Levante, with Theo at full-back and Marcelo in front of him, is to be repeated. Zidane obviously believes in it. Let's see positionally how they line up. Yeah, Marcelo at the moment looking as if he's playing left midfield. He has the capacity to do that. Theo the first time looked a little bit bewildered, as if my space is being shut down, but so many more weeks training, working out. Presumably they've worked on this theory.
And presumably Zidane thinking it's an ideal opportunity to continue with the experiment. 2-0 up with less than 20 minutes to go against Eibar. Here's Inui. That's a decent ball indeed, and what a shame for Kike that he was unable to control it, because there were very few white shirts anywhere near him there. Well, Luka Modric, who's performed more on the left-hand side of midfield today, will presumably move across a little bit to make way for Marcelo and Theo Hernandez. Under Kappa is being replaced by Ruben Peña. And as you pointed out, Graham, he looks like a player who doesn't have a lot of gas left in the tank.
Yeah, far be it for me to decry his efforts if he's arrived here and really forced himself, but he's looked brutally tired all night. It was surprising that wasn't given as a foul. The referee must absolutely have missed that, a clear stamp. But, you know, maybe Kappa's given his absolute everything, but it's been a very flat performance from him.
Still Eibar insisting, enjoying quite a bit of possession in this second half. Here's Escalante. Corte comes to Jordan. Corte again. Escalante quick to find Rivera. This is better from Eibar. Peña with his first touch. Inside to Rivera. Escalante. All the way back to where it started with Jose Angel Corte. Arbilla. Inoue. Still Inoue. Escalante. And Rafa Varane, as usual, perfectly positioned to make the interception. Plays himself into trouble though. Modric there to help him play out of it. Arbilla puts it into touch, throw into Real Madrid. It's quickly taken by Cristiano Ronaldo. Vasquez pulls it back to Casemiro. Casemiro lays it off to Ronaldo, who finds Benzema. Fantastic. And his shot brilliantly blocked by Paulo Oliveira. It'll be a corner. Lovely fluid move from Real Madrid.
You can't see it in his face, but when Paulo Oliveira wakes up in the morning, having had a really rough night with the own goal and the ball through his legs for the second, oh, that tackle will feel extra good. Superb anticipation, saved a goal.
Marcelo with the resulting corner, the fifth of the evening for Real Madrid. Well, Ronaldo got on the end of it. No, it's Karim Benzema who got on the end of it. Casemiro, I think, misjudging that, as the flag had gone up for offside.
It's time, if you don't mind, to hand out a little bit of applaudit, some kudos for Inoue, who's worked like a Trojan all night, always willing to receive the ball, doing useful things with it, as we see the header come again and the offside decision called correctly. And the Japanese forward has been so smart in what he's tried to do in creating space, turning defenders, always offering the ball. And for Eibar at a stadium like this, when you have a teammate who always wants to take the ball, there'll be certain footballers who'll be going, thank God for him in our team.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans will have been saying that ever since he joined the club. He's been absolutely brilliant for them. It's quite often a thankless task. Oh, there's the through ball, just too firm for Kike. And Kiko Casilla very quick to play that one out. Ronaldo to Marcelo. Marcelo looking for Theo Hernandez and finding him. Still Marcelo, now Theo. Eibar have got plenty of bodies back behind the ball, including Inoue, who wins it. Little push from Sergio Ramos and Escalante, who stays down. Another player who seems to be struggling tremendously. He's taken the captain's armband off. And Kappa, who was substituted, struggling as well, the Argentine. It's Paulo with the free kick. Paulo again. Now Ruben Peña. To David Lomban. Well, that one's hoisted into no man's land, or more correctly Nacho's land. Casemiro. Nacho back to Rafa Varane and back to Kiko Casilla. Sergio Ramos. Luka Modric. And now Rafa Varane once more thinks it over the top, looking for Benzema. Beautiful control once again, well defended. And a chance perhaps to break. It's Arbilla on the ball. First time from Kike, back to Corte. Rivera. Ruben Peña. Again, Inui calling for the ball. Peña through the middle to Kike. Well defended there by Casemiro. Modric through the middle. Benzema, options wide, he chooses Lucas Vázquez. It's not a great first touch. He manages to get away from Lomban, who blocks his cross. And that ball agonisingly going over the line for a throw into Real Madrid.
It's notable that I'm very little surprised we're going to see a second striker change, in that Kike's looked like he's got the turning circle of a Pantechnicon that's run out of gasoline, and you don't score goals like that against Real Madrid.
Is Ramos, he's going to try a shot. No, he isn't. What he was trying was to feed it through to Ronaldo. It was blocked by Oliveira. Modric. Casemiro to Ramos. Benzema heading it down. Marcelo nearly on the end of it. Good determination from Marcelo. It might fall still to him. Ronaldo into the side netting. Well, Marcelo did absolutely everything in his power to set up his mate there.
Yeah.
And it just didn't fall for Ronaldo.
There he is. Take the spot, take the bike kick and get on with it. But I like the fact that Marcelo, under challenges from a cluster of bodies, there's the opportunity to go down and throw yourself to the turf and say to the referee, how'd you fancy that one? He doesn't take it, maybe because it's in his mind that he's going to look for Ronaldo, but a lot of footballers would have gone down there.
Well, Sergio Enrique comes on to replace Gonzalo Escalante. So we have two strikers on the pitch for Eibar for the closing 11 minutes.
Somebody's a footballer I like watching. I really enjoy watching Sergio Enrique, and I'd love to hear Mendilibar afterwards explaining why he's been held back so long, unless it's the cup game against Celta and then the big league game against Levante next week that's been on his mind. Otherwise, get your best players on the pitch.
Peña manages to get away from Teo. Not a bad cross. Well dealt with by Rafa Varane, who's had a very, very calm and collected performance tonight. Doesn't really make big headlines, Rafa Varane, but hasn't put a foot wrong. That one's given away though. Rivera nearly fancied the shot. He knew he does fancy the shot. Doesn't catch it.
Famously scored two absolute pearlers from further out against Barcelona at the Camp Nou. And last game of last season, was a bit of an imposter there.
Yeah, Ramos did well to close him down, but even so, the Japanese won't be too happy with the contact he made with that one. Here is Ramos. Twists away from Kike. Modric to Rafa Varane, gets the return ball. Nacho wins the throw. Into the last 10 minutes here. Still no change. 2-0 on the scoreboard. An own goal from Paulo Oliveira, and that brilliant left-footed half volley from Marco Asensio. Ooh, neat skills from Peña to get away from Teo. There's Sergio Enrique. Inui back to Peña, and his cross blocked by Teo Hernandez, and the ball kept in play by Kiko Casilla.
I'm not being mean about this, but that move slowed down as soon as it reached Kiko, who's like, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Oh, that's it. And suddenly white shirts everywhere.
Inui helping up Casemiro. Free kick being given in favour of Real Madrid.
He's proved me wrong, hasn't he, Casemiro? At least when I said let's keep a microscope on him, he's got away with it, but he's still here. They are winning. He's done some important things. Maybe he's right. Maybe he is invisible. Terrific.
Well, he's certainly, that stamp was invisible on Inui early in the second half. Here's Teo bursting forward. Marcelo to Benzema. Falls to Marcelo. Lovely finish from Marcelo. 3-0 to Real Madrid. And Marcelo pointing to the fans. I'm back, he says. And what an important player this fizzy little left back is. Marcelo, brilliant finish. 3-0 to Madrid.
Shall we? Can we
Yes,
call
we
that
can.
the Gary Lineker goal?
Yes, we certainly can.
Because the 1-2 is gorgeous, the finish is lovely, the run is lovely. Look at that absolutely sensational initial touch. When it comes into Marcelo, where does it go next? And the ball's right for him to swivel and turn, and because it's given to him on that side of his body as he swivels, the left foot shot is fantastic. The double touch in there tells you why Zidane yesterday in the build-up said, I find it shameful that Gary Lineker should say that about my player, but about this player in particular. The credit goes to the goal scorer. The credit goes to the manager for bringing Marcelo on in left midfield. But boy, oh boy, what do we think about Benzema for those two touches?
Absolute class. I mean, the criticism he receives, we've spoken so much about it. You can only really understand it if you don't actually watch the games but just look at the scoreline and who scores the goals, because Karim Benzema has demonstrated once more that he is a class act. That was absolutely breathtaking football, so simple and yet so beautiful.
Let me start in the Champions League for Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo, 15 goals in 52 Champions League appearances. Teams up with Benzema, 91 in 96. There is a symbiotic understanding. This man is happy to be a domestique for players around him, and yet he's 5 goals off being the 4th all-time Champions League scorer. His assists total for the club, 87. Trophies, over 20. Also a footballer of gorgeous quality that it makes it worthwhile coming to a game or turning your television on just to see Karim Benzema play.
Well, we just saw him do a little bit of keepy up in the centre circle with his back to the Eibar goal. Obviously really enjoying his football, Karim Benzema, and well, he'll get the assist for that. Thoroughly deserved too. Absolutely beautiful understanding between Marcelo and Benzema. We talk about the understanding Benzema and Ronaldo. That was just breathtaking. Here is Benzema. Some neat little ball into Teo Hernandez, who gets the better of Ruben Peña. Paolo was there to block. Peña hoiks it away. He knew he just happened to be there. Benzema wins it back. Still Benzema lays it off towards Lucas. Lomban was there. And there's a chase for Kike. Well, I guess we knew that Rafa Varane was going to win that one.
You put him up against Usain and think, well, maybe he's got a chance. He's passed.
Luka Modric seeking to find and finding Nacho. Lovely control and flick from him. Lucas turning it on there, but well, that ends up being showboating if there's no teammate there to collect it, doesn't it? Kiko winning that one. Peña to Inui, gets the return ball. Inui again. Really fine performance from him today. Here's Paolo. Rivera. Jordan. Cross driven in. Ramos doesn't quite get behind that one. Advantage Kiko Casilla. Into the last 5 minutes of the Bernabéu. 3-0 to Madrid. There's no coming back for this one from Eibar, but one or two players out there in white Graham wouldn't mind getting on the scoreboard in the closing minutes here. One of them could be Benzema. Plays it back. It was Casemiro with the flick on, and look at the response from Lucas Basquet there.
Bruce Lucas Fernandez Lee. He reached the stud marks, will be very, very high up that post. The only guy I know for sure can do better than that is Thibaut Courtois, who I've seen for Belgium high kicking the crossbar. Here we go. Here it
just missed out.
Por favor.
We'll see it again, don't worry. Here's Inui.
You talked about Madrid players wanting to score. Now, clearly you mean Benzema and Ronaldo, I understand. Casilla, let's make a case for him. It looks as if Keylor might be out for the next 2 or 3 matches. 2 really interesting ones coming up. Fuenlabrada in the Cup in midweek, and then out to Girona in La Liga, the Primera Liga. Real Madrid in that stadium for the first time ever in Primera Liga. And Casilla will be in goals, so if he keeps a clean sheet tonight, it's a big deal for the deputy keeper.
Jordan looking for Kike. Modric and Casemiro doing enough to block, and Kiko Casilla clearing. Well, I think he's a very solid pair of hands. I've been impressed whenever he's had to come in.
As far as a deputy is concerned, you're bang on the money. Agile, tall, competitive, a good teammate. People like him at the club. The trouble is ahead of him. Kaylor has played the football of his life for Los Blancos and is deservedly number one.
Here's Ruben Peña. Jordan, he might try a shot. Instead he tries to feed it through to Sergio Enrique, and I could only find Casemiro. Paolo picking out Ruben Peña once more. Inui still calling for the ball. And very nearly on target from Kike, with perhaps Inui in a better position. Kike decided he was going to have a go himself. Lucas Basquet driving forward for Real Madrid. Still Lucas. Lays it off to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's shot easily blocked by Dimitrovic. They keep it going. Lucas trying to cut it back for Marcelo. The interception was easy. Here's Inui. Inui against Luka Modric. Ruben Peña. Arbia. Cotti calling for it. Advantage to Rafa Varane. It was in fact Kike. Varane dealing with it with his usual calm. Lomban. Peña. Inui back in his more usual position, returns it to Ruben Peña. Neat run from Inui. Just couldn't quite link with Jordan. Kike to Cotte, whose cross is a poor one. Marcelo. Casemiro powers away from Rivera, who tries to tuck him back but can't, but finally takes advantage of Casemiro's exaggerated nonchalance of it there, just winning it back. I think Casemiro felt that having gone past Rivera, he would have just given up the chase, but he didn't. Paolo. And Ait Sarbia. Seconds left before the 90 minutes are up. Cotte. Back to Arbia once more. Jordan to Inui. Ruben Peña in space. Ruben Peña. Kike, he's got to make the pass to Inui. Tries to make the return pass instead of perhaps trying a shot. Still Eibar insisting that's a good ball. And a fine save, the flag up for offside. But Kiko Casilla frustrating Sergio Enrique anyway.
It'll matter to the Catalan keeper that irrespective of the flag, which is right, the assistant's done well. Kiko is in full battle mode there, makes the save. That helps confidence. There we see Benzema's little flicks. I mean, Simon, this is gorgeous. Marcelo's look up, sees him there, and Benzema's ball, it's absolutely key that the ball is in the right place and allows that swivel and shot. Quality in the Brazilian, absolutely sure. Goal number 29 for this left back Brazilian for the club he loves.
Inui. And forcing a fine save from Kiko Casilla. Good way for Casilla to end his performance, although there's still just over a minute left. Inui finally deciding to have a go himself, as well he might. That was well struck.
He's one fit boy. I mean, no matter what we say about his attitude, he's looked as fresh and as athletic in the last 5 minutes as we go into added time as he has in the beginning of the match.
Sergio Enrique awaiting this corner. It's going to be Inui to take it. To the far post, headed away by Rafa Varane. Still insisting though. Eibar looking for some consolation. Cotte plays it in low, straight to the feet of Luka Modric, and it's Marcelo who picks it up. Basket He'll have a second opportunity, finds Marcelo. Benzema, oh, that's lovely from Benzema again. Ronaldo couldn't find the angle for the shot, can't link with Lucas. Modric, referee looks at his watch, there's going to be maybe one last attempt from Real Madrid. In comes the cross, and Ronaldo nor Benzema unable to get on the end of it. There's the final whistle in the Santiago Bernabéu. Real Madrid 3, Sociedad Deportiva Eibar 0. Well, Marcelo came on and had an impact. Graham Hunter, we've seen how Benzema also was involved, but for Cristiano Ronaldo, well, the kind of game that seems to just really affect him. He doesn't look like a happy player, doesn't look happy leaving the pitch. Surely there's nothing to worry about. Cristiano Ronaldo's going to be getting amongst the goals sooner rather than later. I
think what we must never, there he is throwing a piece of turf that he's taken off his studs down onto the ground in anger, and what we must never confuse is the drama, the ultra characterization of his moods with how he feels in training. As soon as he's out of the stadium, as soon as he's through the mix zone, his concentration on how do I get better tomorrow, what must I work on. I would imagine he'll probably be speaking to the coach about whether he does or doesn't play in the cup in midweek. I think normally it's a situation where Zidane might have said to him, you take a rest. But goals probably come more importantly to him right now than a rest does, and we may well see Cristiano in the midweek cup game against Fuenlabrada.
We're going to have words with Marcelo. Congratulations. And what's most important for you, the result or your goal?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be the team result. You know, I scored, I'm pleased, but above anything, all the time, is that
for it really with his substitutions, and just rushed there by Tova. Rudy Garcia up on the edge of his technical area. Huge moments these for him and for Marseille. Ocampos. NG in the box. Oh, he's giving it away. NG gets it back though. NG, corner to Marseille. Oh, they're just getting a bit of space, getting a few opportunities. Marseille, they've been rather wasteful in the last couple of crosses. Can they do something with this corner? About to take. Talk around far post. Here's NG. NG taking on Rabiot. Getting in a bit of a muddle in the end. Still fighting Clinton. NG gets it over! Look at the Marseille players. proclaims his love for Olympique de Marseille on a regular basis, has sent the OM fans into rafters here. Marseille 2, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Well, credit to Clinton NG, who persevered. It looks as though he was going to be dispossessed here by Rabiot. The ball went to the byline, and NG just about squeezed it across. And while Thiago Silva and the Paris Saint-Germain defenders were sleeping, Thauvin wasn't. Spotted the chance and finished brilliantly with his right foot. Well, still time, plenty of it for Paris Saint-Germain. When you consider that there were only 3 minutes left when Dijon equalised last weekend and PSG still found a winner. Got just over 10 minutes left here. Cross towards Cavani. Grammy's head. Meunier's cross towards Cavani. Sakai's there, the flag's up. Well, there were just some signs before the goal that Marseille were beginning to look dangerous. In front and 10 minutes away from claiming their first win over PSG in 6 years. Fourth beating NG. Clinton NG dispossessed by Marquinhos. Marseille hounding the Paris Saint-Germain ball carrier. Laurent. Meunier, the late hero last weekend against Dijon. He'll be looking to get up that right-hand side at every opportunity. Coming on for OM, and it's the goal scorer Thauvin who's had to defend so much tonight, Florian Thauvin, but doesn't cross the line. Just there when Thauvin fires it beyond Areola. Playing a right back recently, but he is a winger by trade, Bounassar. I'm sure he'll sit just in front of Sakai. Marquinhos finds Meunier. Rabiot. Sanson. classic debut for Neymar. He's managed to find the back of the net, but it's PSG side trail. They are yet to taste defeat in the Neymar era. Trophy. 12 wins, 1 draw so far. Neymar fouled by Sanson. Now I think Morgan Sanson will be booked. And it's Neymar who has shoulder charged Ocampos. He's just been booked, Neymar, and the referee's got a decision to make here. Well, Morgan Sanson was the player who fouled Neymar. The referee looks like he's communicating with his assistants. Now, how much intent was there from Neymar as he went towards Ocampos? Ocampos might be making a meal of this. That's the foul from Sanson. This is the reaction now from Neymar. But he's exaggerated Ocampos, hasn't he? Neymar's not exactly a heavyweight boxer. He's come in with a shoulder pushed out. And Neymar being booked. Neymar's off. It's his second yellow card. And Neymar's classic debut ends prematurely. Sarcastic applause from the Brazilian. That's his call, Neymar. Ocampos clearly made the most of the contact that there was between the two. Neymar's off. PSG down to 10 men. What a chance Marseille have got now. PSG without Neymar, trailing by 2-1 and having to defend him. Meunier's there. Not a good touch from Meunier. Bounassar. Sarr can finish it. Saved by Areola. Sanson. 2 golden opportunities for Marseille. Paris Saint-Germain all at sea at the back. Thomas Meunier with the mistake. Bounassar denied by Areola, and then Sanson got his shot. What a finale, what a thrilling end to this game. Well, PSG are not out of it, and they would love nothing more than to silence 65,000 Marseillais by scoring a late goal. Meunier to the last 2 minutes, but there will be added time given all the substitutions and the couple of injuries we've had. Rabiot, of course, big delay when fans were throwing stuff on at Neymar. Well, the foul has gone the way of OM. Zlatan Ibrahimovic marking his first classic with a stunning double. This is the reaction from Neymar. That was the initial yellow for Neymar. This is the second one. He gets fouled once and again by Ocampos, and he comes over and he shoves Ocampos. Meunier. Marquinhos for Rabiot. Long one there. Frank Zambo and Guisa as well in that midfield. Oh, Sanson booked. Sorry, it was Ocampos who got the yellow card a moment ago. I thought for a moment Sanson was joining Neymar in the dressing room. Well, 4 minutes of added time, still time for Paris Saint-Germain. They're going to have to take some risks. Verratti pumps it forward. Headed on by Thiago Silva, away by Rolando. Rabiot. And Guisa, the up and under, the home fans like that. There's going to be a party on the Old Port tonight, I tell you, if Marseille can hang on. Alphonse Areola. Adil Rami, but Rami's beaten to that by Draxler. Here's Draxler. Julian Draxler. Gustavo got a foot in, PSG still have it. Cavani taking a tumble. Perhaps looking for the free kick, but he worked the position very well. Now, Cavani, I think, will be the man who will take this set piece. Di Maria moment this, with 2 minutes left in the Classic. Cavani! It's in! And it's a Cavani! Paris Saint-Germain have done it with 10 men, and El Matador has broken the Marseille hearts. A wonderful free kick from Cavani. Marseille 2, Paris Saint-Germain 2. Look what it means to Cavani, and I can tell you they will be celebrating in Paris. There are no away fans here tonight, but their supporters will cherish this. This almost certainly PSG's last chance of the night, and it's gone in. Who says this fixture doesn't mean more than the others? Marseille cannot believe it. An incredible finale to this one. PSG with 10 men, getting back on.